Hi, welcome to a new lesson. Let's take a look at how we can animate a text layer. I showed you that you can animate it as we can animate anything else using these transform properties, but the text layers goes a little beyond and brings us some nice features here on the animation. So if you want to animate a text layer, just click here on this button. You can see that on the text property you can see a little animate text, and here you have a play button. So obviously we have to click on this play button. Click here and it opens a new menu. This menu has all the things that can be animated. You can animate the anchor point, the position, the scale, the skew, the rotation. Anything that you want can be animated here. Let's go first with the position. Let's click on position here, and this will open a lot of things here. You can see that we have again the source, the path, more options, and now we have another property, a new property called the animator 1. So this is where we are going to animate the layer. This is where we are going to animate these properties. Below the animator property we have two things. We have the range selector, which is the type of selection that the software is going to create for the text layer. We're going to talk about that later. And we have the property itself, which is the position property in this case, because remember that we chose the position here on animate. So we have the position here, and let's animate it. We have the stopwatch. Let's click here and let's go to first second, or maybe even lower. Maybe we have 15 frames, and on this frame we're going to drag these text layers to this part, and we're going to create an animation. Now we created the position animation, but now I want to play a little with it. Let's open the range selector, and this will tell us, and we have the position property, which is the position itself. If we change this, we will alter the position of the layer. So right now I want to change the position to this point. Here is the original position, and I want to change this to the top, so to make it disappear. So right now it doesn't have any animation, but if I go to the range selector and open this, I can create some more keyframes with this. This is the start of the animation, and we can create a simple animation. Let's click on the stopwatch here on the start, and let's move 15 frames and change this from 0% to 100%. So what this does is to create an animation where the start is acting like moving the text layer from this point to the original position, which is set here on 0, the original position, which is this point. And the good thing is that it animates them letter by letter. So you can see that it creates a cool effect. We can move this maybe to 1 second so that it takes longer to get. So right now this looks really cool. Now I'm going to teach you a cool effect that we have here on After Effects, and is that we can create some blur effect. You can see this button right here, motion blur. You can see that it has a check mark. Let's click here, and here on the timeline itself it also have the enables motion blur. If we hit this button, make sure that it's blue. Now when we hit play, you can see that the letters have a very cool motion blur. So this is really nice. May take longer to render the preview, but it's looking really nice. Alright, so you saw how The range selector selects any layer, any letter, and animates them independently. Now, I want to add some more animation, so to do that, I'm going to click here on, you can see it on Animator 1 property, you can see that we have the Add button, and you can add the property, any property that you want, and you can add another selector. Let's add some more properties, maybe a scale, and we are going to change this scale to 0% so that the letters go from really small to the original size. So you can see how they are really small, and when they get to this point they are the original size. We could also add some rotation, maybe, I don't know, 90 degrees, and you can see that they have some more rotation. You can play with it, or maybe they take a long rotation, anything that you want. Now let's let's duplicate this text layer because we're going to use it later, and with Ctrl and D it creates a duplicate. Now on this duplicate, let's delete all the animators, and let's create a new one for character offset. On character offset, if we set a value of maybe 20, and the range selector, let's create an animation, starts here and ends here on this first second. What it does is that it creates this really cool effect where it rambles all it's like their letters are all scrambled and they put some random text in them, and later they become the original text. So this can be cool to create something, I don't know, maybe a title for a tech movie or something. Now let's talk about the selectors. Let's delete this animator and create a new one for the position, and we will change this selector, the range selector, and we're going to hit A and add and selector, and let's change this to wiggly. Now on wiggly you have to change the position property. Let's maybe add some more, and you can see that it's very random the way they move, and they move letter by letter, so that's really nice. And if we hit play, you can see that they move with no normal way, they are moving randomly because they are wiggling. We can change things here, for example the max amount, if you want them not to move so much, maybe just move a little, or if you want to move them all around like this, you can change this to be, instead of letter by character, maybe the entire word. You can see that it's moving after and moving effects independently and not character by character. You can change the wiggles per second. Right now it's on 2 per second. Maybe they are more, and if we hit play they will go completely crazy like that. Maybe you want just 1 per second, and they will move really slow. So it can be used for cool things. For example, to create a text, a title, maybe from a spooky movie. Maybe you want them to move just a little bit, like this. Maybe we have a spooky movie title. And you can play with these properties a lot. Now let's delete this layer and let's go to the next lesson, because I wanted to talk about a really nice thing called the presets. So let's go.